Binusisi sa oral argument sa Supreme Court ang mga ginamit na basehan ng administrasyon para sa ikatlong extension ng martial law sa Mindanao. Giit naman ng isa sa mga petitioner, hindi pwedeng gamiting basehan ang holo bombing sa martial law extension. May report si Dano Tingkungko.
Patuloy pa rin daw ang pagre-recruit ng iba't ibang grupo para maghasik ng gulo sa Mindanao. Yan ang iginiit ng gobyerno sa isinagawang oral argument sa Korte Suprema para sa muling pagpapalawig ng martial law sa Mindanao. Nagpapatuloy pa rin daw ang rebelyon sa lugar sa kabila ng paggapi ng militar sa teroristang grupong Maute sa Marawi. Kapalit ng Maute Group, nariyan pa rin daw ang Dawa Islamia, Abu Sayyaf, Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters at New People's Army. Gayon din ang banyagang teroristang grupong ISIS.
Aside from their high level of motivation brought about by their deep ideological foundations, they usually bring with them combat experience, contacts in international terrorist networks, and functional knowledge in urban warfare tactics. It is significant to point out that while some bombings occurred, far more bombing plots had also been preempted. Nonetheless, the magnitude of these bombing operations, the latest of which was the 27 January Tolo Cathedral bombing, which killed at least 21 records and that it could be 20 already people.
Isa sa mga pinag-aaralan ngayon ng Korte kung meron ba talagang factual basis para ipagpatuloy ang martial law sa Mindanao. Nagsumite ang gobyerno ng listahan ng iba't ibang insidente ng karahasan sa Mindanao sa nakalipas na taon. Pero puna ni Associate Justice Benjamin Caguiwa, ilan sa mga insidenteng inilista ng militar, walang nakalagay na salarin at motibo. Kabilang dito ang 7 pambobomba gamit ang improvised explosive device. May mga insidente rin daw na itinala kung saan ang salarin ay pinaniniwalaan umanong Abu Sayyaf.
If these reports do not identify the perpetrator, then I want to know what is the basis for the report to say that these are acts attributable to the ESG.
Tinanong din si Lorenzo kung kailan masasabi ng militar na tapos na ang rebelyon.
Given that question, what I could say is it's not the killing of every single rebel out there. When we can say that rebellion no longer exists. Rather, it is the attainment of a level of security whereby the different threat groups can no longer impose their will or impose their will on the people, or they are no longer effective.
Ang ibang maestrado naman sumentro sa kung pareho pa rin ba ang basehan ng martial law extension sa pinanggalingan nitong orihinal na petisyon.
Is there an ongoing armed rebellion today in Marawi City?
Not in Marawi City, Your Honor.
Can you say the situation contemplated in Proclamation 216 has already changed?
There's still a need, Your Honor, to extend the martial law because of the ongoing threat to public safety, Your Honor.
Sa isang panayam, iginiit ng unang petitioner na si Representative Edsel Lagman na hindi pwedeng gamiting basehan ang holo bombing sa martial law extension.
These holo bombings were categorized by the administration as terrorist acts, not in pursuant to a rebellion. Number 2, it happened after the extension was made.
Para naman kay Attorney Christian Monsod na isa sa mga petitioner, kung papayagan ng Korte ang ikatlong martial law extension, dapat din daw ipagpaliban ng 2019 elections. Ginamit daw kasi noon ng COMELEC ang pagpapatibay ng Korte Suprema sa unang martial law declaration sa Mindanao para ipagpaliban ng barangay at SK elections.
If they say there should be martial law, the COMELEC should take recognition or judicial notice of the decision of the Supreme Court to extend martial law. And given the principle of the COMELEC that the basis for martial law is inconsistent with the holding of free, honest, fair, peaceful and credible elections, then the elections must be postponed.
Dano Tingkungko, GMA News.